Entrepreneur life requires risk, persistence, and a slightly unreasonable belief that this thing you're building is going to work.
And let's not forget copious amounts of caffeine.
Yes, that too.
Hey guys, I'm Alison, the Caffeinated Entrepreneur, an AI-powered business strategist and systems builder with an energy level that should probably come with a warning label.
And I'm Bernie, the man behind the mustache. I'm a virtual events producer who makes sure the tech works, the delivery is clean, and nobody panics, including Alison.
Each week, we are picking up the conversation where my weekly newsletter leaves off. No teaching, no pretending we have it all figured out.
Just two entrepreneurs talking honestly about the highs and lows of growing our own businesses.
And why some ideas are worth sipping on a little bit longer. Welcome to the Caffeinated Entrepreneur. Let's go behind the brew. Hey guys, grab your favorite caffeinated beverage and join us for today's episode where we're going behind the brew of issue number 16, Opportunity, Problem, Repeat. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. How are you today?
I have a problem that came for an opportunity. And this has been on repeat. So welcome to today's episode, because when I was going through my newsletter archive and I was like, I always look for the episode or for the issues that got the most open rate or the most response, like what got the most engagement. Yep. And this one was stacked pretty stinking high. And I laughed because I was like, oh, so funny. We can go behind the brew on this bad boy today, because literally right back in the cycle again.
Living it again.
Oh yeah. So I thought, how timely to do a recording on this one.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. So before we get started, I see that you're drinking out of your big B mug today.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a Christmas gift? It looks like a Christmas
It pattern. Was. Yeah, it was a Christmas gift. I think my sister got it for me. What I love about this one is I can fit 2 full cups of coffee in the one mug.
Yeah. Nice.
It's really good. And then I've got a little coffee warmer here, so it never goes cold. It's amazing.
Joel bought me one of those electric coffee warmers. The problem is that it was back when we had little kids and I would forget to turn it off. And then inevitably either the coffee would char, like it would burn because I would forget about my coffee, or I would take my coffee and forget to turn it off, and then a child would burn themselves because I was a negligent mother at the time. Listen, I didn't have a lot of sleep back then, okay? I'm just validating now. Before someone calls CPS on me for like how I was 10 years ago. I don't do that now. They've come
a long way. They have auto shutoffs now. I will say sometimes my coffee has a little bit of a film on the top.
Yeah, because it sits for too long. Oh, I cooked mine. There was this gross.
Char.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I have my Magnolia mug today. Because like any, stay-at-home mom, I was obsessed with Joanna Gaines for like a decade, right? And so we went to Magnolia on one of our road trips when we were in the RV, and I walked away with many tchotchkes, one of them being a mug.
Nice.
So that's my story today. So I will tell you this, super fun. Joel loves auctions. And over the weekend, he saw in an auction a single cup coffee maker, not a Keurig, but like one of the ones that's even smaller than a Keurig. Oh my word. I'm so loving it, because now I have all these, I'm on a coffee subscription. I think we talked about this, but I have a monthly subscription. So I get all these different coffees. Mm-hmm. And now I can literally have a different type of coffee all day long. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to have the dark chocolate with honey this morning. Ooh, I'm going to have the hazelnut with vanilla this afternoon. I'm loving this.
And it's better than Keurig because you don't have to pay Keurig prices.
No kidding. Yeah. It's literally my own grinds, and I just make myself my own little cup of coffee. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I'm like in coffee heaven today.
Amen.
So, right. All right. So let's jump into today's episode, because I kind of teased everybody with like, what the heck problem does Alison have today? It's like one of those ones that, it's literally an opportunity that has become a problem. I will find the solution, but without a doubt, I will repeat it. So there's actually 3 of them that we discussed in pre-production. So I'll start with the funniest, and then we'll work our way to the most serious. And by all means, you're going to be able to share yours as well.
Indeed.
Okay. So the funniest one is with all of the visibility that I've been gaining in the last 6 months by doing trigger events every single month and really, really, really intentionally engaging with people on LinkedIn. I'm getting a lot more pitch slaps in the DMs, like daily. We're talking 3 to 5 easy a day. The most hysterical one, though, was the guy that came into my DMs offering to book me private jets because he knows that as a speaker, that it can get really cumbersome to have to arrange all of your flights and all of the things. And I had to laugh. And I was like, dude, number one, like, I can't even afford first class, let alone a private jet. But number two, if you took a hot minute to see about any of the speaking that I do, it's all virtual. Like, I don't go anywhere. Yeah. So I thought that one was kind of fun. Have you noticed this for yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I would probably say it started happening once I got to 2,500, 3,000 followers on LinkedIn.
Yes.
You just start seeing these solicitors pinging you, connecting with you. And then all of a sudden, I wouldn't even say all of a sudden, usually it's the first or second message. They smash you with whatever their sales pitch is. I mentioned this in the pre-show. I've taken kind of the approach that John Hoffman does now too. And I've just started messing with people a little bit. Like I'm just, if they're going to interrupt my day, I'm going to try to have some fun with it as best I can.
You're hysterical. I don't mess with people, but I pitch them right back, which ironically, I've had several of them take me up on it. So it's kind of funny because I've had several webinar attendees, like they'll pitch me. A lot of VA agency people come into me saying, do you need a VA? All the things, which we'll circle back to. But I get a lot of them and I'm like, hey, no, actually, I have a team. I'm dialed in. But you know what I do help is VA agencies start using AI so that their VAs are no longer, out of business or whatever. And I've actually landed 2 VA agency clients that way. Isn't that ironic?
That is ironic.
So friends, they come in these DMs to pitch you. Pitch them back.
The old Uno reverse. Nice.
I need to get a GIF and just start sending it to them. That would be so funny. Oh, I love that. Okay. So that's the first opportunity was the increased visibility, which has been awesome, which is now creating this problem. So my solution is to pitch them back. Your solution is to straight up mess with them.
Yes.
To each his own. Again, y'all, same brew, different cup. Okay.
Yeah.
We're just
I haven't gone quite as far as public shaming, but I don't feel like that's very far off, to be honest with you.
In some cases, it may be warranted, but I try not to do that because I'll just say this. Cold DMs work. Cold calling works, y'all. Now, you have to send 100 messages to find the one person who actually needs the thing that you're selling at that moment that you're selling it. But there's a reason, knocking on doors. In fact, a guy knocked on my door today trying to get me to switch from one electric company to the next. There's a reason people have been doing it for hundreds of years and they're still doing it today.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, any sort of sales at the end of the day is a numbers game. Conversion is going to vary, based on how you're approaching it, but it's all a numbers game. If you talk to enough people, you're likely going to find one of them to say yes. As my dad used to say, there's an ass for every seat.
There is. And there's a pair of pants for every but I don't even know where I was going with that. I was trying to be funny about fashion and it landed very flat. Anyway, there's a coffee flavor for every mug. There you go. Let's keep it branded, Bernie. Okay. So then, that one's kind of funny, but a more serious opportunity problem then I need a solution repeat situation is that when I first started my business, of course, as many of us do, right? We're all the hats. We're doing our own thing. And then as our business grows, opportunity, right? More revenue, more clients, all the things, we need to hire a team. Yep. And so I did that. I hired a fabulous young woman. She actually came to me as an intern for 3 months. And then she was so awesome. She stayed on. And for over 2 years, she and I have been building my brand, growing my business. She's been with me when I pivoted from online business management to my Be Your Own Boss Better program, and then to my 7-figure CEO program. And like, she's just grown with me. And I can honestly say that so much of my business growth, particularly around my branding and messaging, has been because I've had her as part of my team.
Right.
However, as opportunity would be, as I've shifted to Notion and I've systematized so much and we've templated so much because of the visibility and getting dialed in, like all of that started to really click about 6 months ago. Now I find myself not needing her creativity. Like, I need someone who can copy and paste and double check links, right? And that is not her zone of genius. And to an extent, I'm like, girl, can't hold you back, because I remember when I was working as a VA getting paid $20 an hour and I knew what I was actually capable of. And I walked away from the VA agency. I walked away from my clients and I started off on my own. And so she and I kind of were like, we were in, for the last few months, we've been sort of in this like ick zone, right? Where it's like, she and I don't want to like break up. We've been together almost 3 years at this point, right? There's like an emotional level there, but at the same time, there's frustration on both sides of like her being like, you can't drop things on me at the last minute. I don't work all day. Like, I work at midnight because I'm in my 20s and that's what I do. Bless her heart. God love her. Couldn't do it myself. Right. But like, that's how our relationship has always been project-based. She works when she can work. I review whatever. And I'm sitting there going, but I need somebody who at 2:00 can fix a problem or write a new email or whatever. And so the opportunity of my business growing, particularly in the last 6 months, how it's really started to take off, has created this problem where she and I are no longer a good fit for each other. What I need is no longer what she offers. And it's not for lack of the fact that she's not amazing. I almost, and I'll just be honest, I almost feel like I downgraded her role. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't take away any pay, but as anybody with integrity should have, and I was this way as well, I don't want the money for something that is not bringing me joy, making me happy, like challenging me, growing me, whatever, which is why I walked away from the VA agency. So now I'm like, well, crap. Now I say this, you know how many people are going to end up in my DMs? Hey,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Y'all, by the time this episode drops, I promise you I will have solved this problem. Don't
Right.
DM me. I already got plenty of people in the queue. Okay. But like, now I have this new problem, which is now I need to onboard a new teammate, right? And I need to go through this whole thing, and I will find a solution. And then I am sure I will have to repeat this in another area. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. I mean, the harsh reality is that we will always be brought new challenges, right? Every time we conquer one mountain, we get over the top of that one, the next one is there for us to go over.
Yep.
A friend of mine a few years ago said to me, if you're always putting out fires, you are likely the arsonist. And I thought that was a very profound saying, right? Like, it's true. Like, oftentimes as business owners, we are our own problem. We are our own bottleneck. We create our own problems. And I think it takes a lot of reflection to look objectively at what you're doing and remove yourself when you need to, or bring in the right resource when you need to. But more often than not, it's you, it's me, it's the individual business owner. They are the problem. They are not able to get past whatever the block is. And that's why the problems continue to come up.
Right. And I guess too, in somewhat of a sense of like, this is a cycle that as a growing business, we will always experience the cycle. Like,
there will be change.
Yeah. Like, it's frustrating as all get out, but it's the reality of growing. And in some respects, if you are not having problems come from what once was an opportunity, or what is still currently an opportunity, but it doesn't cause new problems, you're not growing. And this is something that I've always been told, which is if you're not growing, you're dying. It might be super slow, but you're only going in one direction. It's either up or it's down. There's no such thing as, well, maybe you can flatline, but even then, that's not really a good thing either when you think about it. Like technically that's death too, right? But as entrepreneurs, our ambitions, right? The idea being that ambitious people constantly want to grow,
right?
Which is constantly creating problems that we constantly have to solve.
That's right. Absolutely true.
Bring us to new ones. So, all right, I've just shared two of mine. I know there's one of yours, Bernie. Where are you at right now?
Well, honestly, it's very similar. I think I'm probably a step further than you are, or maybe two right now in this space, right? I've definitely increased my volume over the last few months. So I just brought on a new VA. We are now going through and creating systems and trying to figure out what do I delegate and take off of my plate. Like I thought bringing on a VA right initially, it's like, this is going to solve all of my problems. She'll help me manage my calendar and she'll be able to take a look at my emails and let me know what's most important and blah, 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 blah. None of that has happened yet. No fault of hers. But I am the bottleneck because I'm like, well, if I give her my schedule, then what if she moves something that was really important? What if this? What if that? Oh, what if this email comes? And I'm second guessing literally freaking everything. And again, she's amazing. She's asking all the right questions, but I am the problem.
Yeah. It's to your point. And I'm not saying that you've done anything wrong because it's the way everybody does it, but it's that idea of we bring on team before we have the systems in place. And so this is really funny because I'm literally working on content for my next webinar right now. And I'm using the example of Elon Musk. When he was building Teslas back in, I think it was 2014 or 2017, I forget. But he did the reverse thing. Back in the day, factories were like, we're gonna put the assembly line together with all humans, and we're gonna make sure everything works, and we know what order the widgets have to be connected to the wookamahoo and all the things, the whatchamacallit, right? And then once we've got it figured out, then we start building machines that can replace humans in different places. Elon Musk very intentionally did the opposite. He said, I want to automate the entire thing from the beginning. And so they spent millions of dollars building machines to crank out all these Teslas. The problem was it didn't work. Like there's a reason for hundreds and hundreds of years, factories did it with humans first before putting in machines, right? And he had a very expensive lesson where he's literally walking through his factory with his his little posse, and they're walking over to machines that are like, that keep dropping, the little doohickeys, and they're getting lost, or it's like supposed to be sewing a patch on, but it's the stitches are getting messed up, like whatever. And these guys are like, how long would it take a human to do this? And so they test it and they're like, that took 15 seconds. The machine is taking 90 seconds. Get rid of the machine, right? And so then he literally ripped open a hole in the wall of his factory, and they took saws and electric saws to cut out giant machines, throw them out of the building into the parking lot, and hired humans to do the job so that he could start actually getting Teslas through the machine or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like that age old, like build the system before you build the automation. And so that's like the whole thing. It's like, before you delegate or automate, make sure you know what the process is. So
absolutely,
to that point, that's why I'm like, I'm not going to hire immediately because I have a lot of systems in place, but I really want to make sure which systems I want to delegate out, which ones do I want to, get more AI involved and all the things. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a problem though, right? Like even people are scared of creating those systems. I just got hired by one of our good friends. And he just sent me this super long email of like all the things, right? Like it's just, and he just writes at the end, fix me. And I just thought it was the best. And I was like, listen, we're going to take it one step at a time, my friend. Like, because he's already got a team, yet he doesn't feel like he's using them. Right. And so I just thought that was amazing. So I was like, yeah, we got it.
That's awesome. And I got to tell you, Alison, that was a fantastic example to make your point.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right. So we know what problems we have that were from opportunities, but I almost want to think forward. what are the opportunities that we don't have yet, or that you don't have yet, that you want, because we don't even know what problems are on the other side of it yet. But like thinking forward, like where you're at now, where are you headed? And then are you thinking about, okay, once that opportunity is on my lap, how do I get ahead of the problem that opportunity could potentially cause?
Yeah. And I think that is the interesting part about having the problems. It forces you to start thinking ahead, right? Like, quite honestly, up until 2 weeks ago, running all of my events and tracking everything from a spreadsheet worked absolutely fine. No problem. But now, as I'm starting to get more of that volume, I'm like, I need like a legit project management tool, and I need to have systems. I don't necessarily need automation yet, but there are some cool things I could probably do with automation. And all of those little pieces require you to think through, okay, what are the problems going to be by doing that, or by not doing that, or.
Yeah, like learning the new tool. Like you have similar, like I finally, after 15 years, outgrew Trello, and I dove headfirst into Notion. By the way, you should probably use Notion, Bernie. I'm just saying. But I dove headfirst into Notion, and I'm freaking loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. But then it's like, okay. And now it's like that opportunity to like teach people how to use Notion and like put my whole program into Notion, which simultaneously is when ChatGPT is like acting stupid, right? And so I'm like, oh, what a great opportunity. But you know what the problem I'm going to have here really, really soon, like in the next 2 weeks, is all of my trainings are recorded showing you how to do my program through ChatGPT, which means that this past summer in August, where I spent 3 weeks recording probably 30 trainings, I'm going to have to re-record everything.
Yep.
I'm like, great opportunity. I already know what the problem is on the other side of this.
I mean, ultimately, if the problems are getting bigger, then I think that you're growing, right? And if you're experiencing the same problems, the same type of problems, you probably need to look, like I said earlier, are you the arsonist? Are you the one who's causing those problems, right? Because then you will get stuck in the rut and the quagmire of just doing the same crap over and over again and not getting the result that you want. So yeah, I mean, I think as you continue to grow, your problems are going to evolve. And if they are evolving, if they are getting bigger and more challenging, that is a pretty good indication that you're growing and that you're playing at a different level.
Speaking of that, so we talked about the whole like getting bigger. You're just talking about that, right? And my first thing was like my visibility is growing and I'm getting all these pitch slaps. Well, the other thing that I'm getting, and again, it's wonderful. And we touched on this in the last episode, but it's all these collaboration opportunities.
Oh yeah.
And I'm actually, I hope I'm not really hurting people's feelings, but I feel like there are some people I've said no to just in the last week, because so many people are reaching out to me to collaborate, or like, hey, I'll send you referrals, you send me referrals. And I'm like, listen, I just got to keep my head down right now. Like, it's not that I would never send a referral to somebody, but I'm like, you and I do very similar things. And right now I just have to focus on me and my business and all the things. And so I'm like intentionally not pursuing opportunities, but I'm also having this problem of too many opportunities. It's like, you know what I mean? And I'm kind of making people feel bad, not intentionally, you know what I mean? But it's like, I'm saying no to a lot of people, and I'm afraid I'm making them feel bad, but I'm still saying no.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really worry about hurting their feelings, right? It's a business decision.
Yeah.
Right. Because ultimately they're going to be looking out for themselves as well.
Which is why they're asking for collaborations.
Which is
Let's be honest, right? Yeah. Like when people want to be referral partners, it's because they're hoping you bring them referrals.
More often than not. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of opportunities to make referral partners, which is great. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know.
I definitely like to focus on, and we touched on this in the last episode, focusing on people that we're going to elevate each other. It's not just going to be a one-way, type of a situation. And as long as it's of mutual benefit and both parties are going to be pulling, equal weight, or, agreed upon weight, then cool.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, there's got to be a separation of what you do. Like I at this point, I am avoiding collaborations with people that are very similar to me. Depending on, in some cases that's strategy, in some cases that's systems, in some cases that's AI. But if someone falls in those three buckets, collaboration at this point in my business doesn't make sense. So, I want to collaborate with someone who runs virtual events because it's totally different. All right, guys, I think the big takeaway from today is going to be this. The problem isn't proof that you're failing. It's actually proof that you're growing, because opportunity always comes with a new set of problems attached. And the goal isn't to actually eliminate the cycle. It's to stop being surprised by it, to stop taking it personally, and to get better responding to it quickly. So here is a final thought to sip on for today. When the next problem shows up, don't ask, what's wrong with me or my team or what's wrong with my business? Ask yourself instead, what did I do to just level up my business? Because bigger problems usually mean you're now playing a bigger game. And if you keep running into the same problem all the time, it's not bad luck. It's just a signal that there's a pattern you need to fix. So to Birdie's point, make sure you're not being the arsonist of your own business. So guys, thanks for listening. Keep showing up, keep taking the next step, because the caffeine is strong.
And so are you.